Do you hit that 2 p.m. wall where your brain just completely shuts off and you can't think straight no matter how much coffee you drink? That was me every single day. I'd be in the middle of work and it's like someone just kind of unplugged my brain. I couldn't focus, I couldn't make decisions, and felt like I was literally thinking through this fog. And I went from being able to barely function in the afternoon to having crystal clear focus and energy all day in just 30 days. And in this video, I'm breaking down the 4 shifts I made that completely eliminated my brain fog and the science behind why these simple 4 shifts work. So let me kind of paint you a picture of where I was. So every morning I'd wake up already feeling behind. I'd grab whatever was quick, usually something dry, something heavy, like toast with avocado or almond butter. And by anywhere from 12 to 2 p.m., my brain would just shut off. I couldn't focus. I didn't have any mental bandwidth to do anything productive for my mental health, like read or pay attention to even just a podcast, right? And I'd be walking into a room and completely forgetting what I was doing. And I thought maybe this was like stress, and I thought maybe I needed some more coffee, so I'd drink more coffee, which would give me this jittery energy, but my brain still felt slow. And what I didn't understand at the time was my brain was not getting what it needed to function. See, your brain is about 75% water and it runs on glucose, which is just sugar from food. But here is the catch. No matter how much water you drink, if you're not eating foods that are naturally high in water content, also called H3O2, your brain cells are working in a dehydrated state. So H2O2, regular drinking water, only hydrates you on a surface level, whereas H3O2, which is water from your foods, hydrates you on a cellular level. So the first shift I made was simple, but completely changed everything. I switched to a high water content diet. Specifically, I prioritized fruit and water-rich foods. Now, I know what you might be thinking right now, isn't fruit just so much sugar? Won't that make me gain weight? But here's the thing, fruit is sugar, but it's packaged with water and fiber and minerals that help your body actually use that glucose efficiently. So when you eat something dry like bread or pasta or protein bars, your body has to pull water from your tissues just to digest it. And that's why you feel bloated and sluggish after those meals. But when you eat something like melon or oranges or berries or grapes or mangoes, your brain gets that immediate cellular hydration and the glucose it needs to fire on all cylinders. And within just the first week of doing this, I noticed my brain fog lifting in the mornings. And by week 2, I could focus for hours without that 2 p.m. crash, and I legit have energy just all day long. Like I needed to be doing something to utilize this energy, right? This electric high water content food was giving me. So I started taking more walks and just doing like random push-ups anywhere I was at. And these physical activities themselves seem to help that brain fog clear a lot more as well. Just kind of moving this stagnant energy inside. And the best part, not only did my brain fog clear, I started losing belly fat from this. So I started losing those love handles that I carried on my belly for years. And this is because most people don't realize that stubborn fat around your midsection is often a sign of chronic dehydration and poor digestion. But when you switch to these enzyme-rich, water-rich foods, your body finally has the hydration it needs to flush out waste showing up as fat and actually process food correctly. So if you're dealing with both brain fog and stubborn belly fat, I put together a free guide called the Fat Loss Activation Guide, and it's got simple, delicious, water-rich meals you can make in under 10 minutes that will help you clear the brain fog and start releasing that stuck fat. So I'll leave a link for you to grab that below in the description. All right, so once I started eating more water-rich foods, I thought I had it all figured out, but I kept noticing something weird. I'd have a great morning, clear mind, good energy, and then I'd go out to lunch with a friend or myself, and I'd get some food, and I'd eat something that seemed healthy, like a falafel sandwich or a veggie wrap, and oil-based dressing. And within 30 minutes, it's like someone pulled the plug on my brain. I'd be foggy, I'd be slow, I'd have to fight to stay engaged in the conversation. And excuse me, and I started tracking this. Every time I ate something fried, oily, or made with flour, like bread, pasta, fried rice, anything with heavy oils or coatings, my brain would just shut down. And at first I thought, maybe I'm just tired. But then I learned what was actually happening. So when you eat oily or fried foods, your liver has to work overtime to process all of that fat, that concentrated fat. And here's the thing, your liver is also responsible for filtering toxins and regulating blood sugar. So when it's overwhelmed trying to break down these heavy oils, it can't do like its other jobs efficiently. Your blood sugar crashes and your brain gets foggy and your digestion stalls. So floury foods, especially refined flour, turn into like a thick, pasty sludge in your digestive tract. It slows everything down and creates this heavy, sluggish feeling. And your gut is your second brain, remember? When your gut is clogged and it's slow, your actual brain feels the same way. So I cut out all these oily and fried and floury foods. Now you don't have to cut these out forever, but I made a rule: if I want my brain to work, I'm not going to eat these foods during the day. So instead, I'd eat things like fresh fruits or steamed vegetables and roots, or smoothies, or big salads with my own dressings and sauces that don't contain oils like every other store-bought and restaurant-made dressing and sauce contains. Or to have just some simple whole food that, wasn't fried or covered in oil, like steamed rice or steamed veggies or some quinoa, foods that didn't need oil or flour. And within the first day of being mindful of this and eating these types of food instead of the oily and floury food, the difference was immediate. There was no more post-lunch crash, no more feeling like I needed a nap at 2 p.m. My brain just stayed clear and sharp all day. And what shocked me was I stopped craving these heavy foods. Like once my body experienced what it felt like to run on this clean fuel, it didn't want this sludge anymore. And my taste buds started rewiring for these more lighter foods. And I started seeing food more as, what am I going to do with this energy source, this fuel source I'm putting in my body? Instead of just eating purely for taste like most people do. And after getting comfortable making these, I learned how to make my own sauces and dips and oil-free versions of foods that I love that still tasted incredible. And again, those are in the guides I've linked below. So at this point, my diet was dialed in. I was eating, water-rich foods. I cut out the heavy, oily, floury stuff during the day. And my brain fog was like 85% better. But I still had this kind of underlying static. Like my mind was clear, but it was also racing. So I'd be working and like literally just thinking about 5 different things at once. I'd finish one task and immediately jump to the next without even taking a breath. And by the end of the day, even though I wasn't like physically tired, my brain felt fried. So I realized something. I was never giving my nervous system a chance to reset. I was constantly in this go, 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 go mode, always doing, always thinking, always consuming information. And your brain can't heal in that state. Your nervous system has 2 modes: sympathetic, which is your fight or flight, and parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest state. And most of us are more in this sympathetic mode all day, every day. And when you're in this mode, your body prioritizes survival over everything else, including clear thinking. Your digestion slows down, your gut-brain connection weakens, your focus fractures. So I learned that I needed to signal to my body, hey, it's safe, you can relax. So I started just sitting and breathing for 15 minutes a day. Didn't matter what time. Sometimes it was in the morning, sometimes it was midday, sometimes right before bed. sometimes all three. And I wasn't trying to meditate perfectly or clear my mind completely. I was just sitting and breathing slowly and deeply and letting my nervous system downshift. And what happened was, after about a week, I noticed that my brain felt more like spacious, like there was room to think clearly instead of this constant mental chatter about the past and the future. And my focus improved, and my patience improved, and my ability to make decisions without second guessing myself improved, because I was finally giving my brain the signal that it was safe to really slow down and just process. So if you're someone who's constantly on the go, constantly stimulated, constantly in your head, this one this one will change your life, all right? So just 15 minutes, sit, breathe slowly, deeply, let your system reset. And make sure you're breathing through your nose and expanding your belly out on your inhales and bringing your belly back in on your exhales. Okay, this is going to put your body in that rest and digest state and calm your mind. All right, so my diet was clean, my nervous system was regulated, but I still had one major problem. The way I started my day was destroying my progress. So my mornings used to look like, the alarm clock goes off, I'd immediately grab my phone while still in bed, scroll Instagram, watch some YouTube, and within 10 to 15 minutes of waking up, my brain was already hijacked. I'd feel anxious about things I hadn't even started yet. I'd see something on social media that would make me jealous or feel behind, and my entire day would just start from this frantic, reactive state. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was training my brain to be scattered from the moment I woke up. Because your brain is most impressionable in the first hour after you wake up. Whatever you expose it to in that window sets the tone for your entire day. So if you start your day with other people's opinions and other people's emergencies or content, you're letting them program your day, and your brain never gets a chance to really orient itself. So I made a rule: no phone for the first hour of the day. And instead, I do a few simple things like read a couple pages of a book, and something that actually required focus and thought. And I'd stretch for 10, 15, 20 minutes to wake my body up and really get my blood flowing. And I'd go for a short walk outside, even just 10 minutes, to get some sunlight and some fresh air. And then sometimes I just sit and breathe to start my day off with some peace and eliminate any chaos or worry in my mind. And the point wasn't to have this kind of perfect morning routine. The point was just to give my brain a calm, intentional start of my day instead of a chaotic, reactive one. And this one shift might have had the biggest impact on my brain fog, because my brain wasn't spending the first hour of the day in this kind of fight or flight mode. It was waking up slowly, gently, and in a way that felt safe and grounded. And so by the time I actually started working, I was clear and focused, and I was grounded and in the present moment. There was no brain fog, no scattered thoughts, just clarity. So at this point, I had all these practices in place: the high water content diet, the no oily or floury foods during the day, 15 minutes of breathing, and then a calm, phone-free morning routine. And I noticed no more brain fog, just pure clarity, consistently, pure energy, in a way better mood. And I want you to understand something important here. These 4 shifts positively affected how I showed up in every area of my life. I was more present with the people I cared about. I could think clearly under pressure. I made healthier decisions. I felt like myself again for the first time in years. And the best part, none of this required like willpower or discipline. Once I gave my body what it actually needed, which is just cellular hydration, cleaner fuel, nervous system regulation, and a calmer start to the day, everything just worked. Your brain wants to function clearly. Your body wants to feel good. You just have to remove the barriers that are keeping it from doing what it's designed to do. So let me recap what cleared my brain fog in 30 days and that you can achieve even quicker from applying all 4 of these shifts that took me 30 days to learn. So 1, I switched to a high water content diet, prioritizing fruit and water-rich foods so my brain got the hydration and the glucose it needed. 2 is I cut out all the oily, fried, and floury foods so my liver and my digestion could work efficiently instead of being constantly overwhelmed. And then 3 is I sat and I just breathed for 15 minutes a day to reset my nervous system and signal safety to my body. Usually sometime in the middle of the day when the most mental chatter is going on. You can do this before bed as well to calm your mind. And then number 4 is I stopped touching my phone for the first hour of the day, and instead I read, I stretched, I walked, or meditated, aka just sat and breathed to give my brain a calm, intentional start. None of these are complicated. They don't require expensive supplements or biohacking gadgets. They're just simple and they're biological truths about how your brain and body actually thrive. And if you're dealing with brain fog right now, I promise you these 4 shifts will change everything for you. Just stay consistent with these for at least 2 to 3 days, and you'll notice an immediate difference in your clarity and your energy levels. And if this video helped you, do me a favor, drop a comment below and let me know which of these 4 shifts resonated with you the most. And I'll see you in the next one. Happy healing, family. Cheers.